Alright. Time, once again, to get started with Kerbal Space Program. Successful MUN mission yesterday. Means we got a lot of science to spend. And we're going to do some fun contracts today. Hopefully. Just going to check what we have going on already. What's the agency parts group? Ah, KSP 2. I'll have to adjust KSP 2. Okay, we'll come back to that. We'll come back to that. Minutes encounter in 2 days. Perigee in 2 days, 4 hours. So we're coming up on the Minus probe here. So that's one thing we'll have to consider. To monitor that today. Oh, thanks, Mosine. Good job, sweetheart. What'd you knock over? Brat. Anyway. Let's see. What else do we want to do? Let's check out our contracts and let's check out our science. So our current active, well, that's a little bit of glitchy, isn't it? We have an orbital station around MUN. It has to be a new station. However, I think, and I could be wrong, I think as long as part of the station is new, then we're good. So I might try and move the Valentina Kerman Memorial Space Station out to the moon today. Maybe. Now let's see. We've got a long deadline. Temperature surveys of the MUN. Those are all out there. Those are all have plenty of time to do those. Now we have rendezvous capabilities, which if I get the station out there and I deorbit a fuel tank that pushes it there, then we should automatically get this one. So I'm not worried about that. KSP 2 needs to be adjusted. Now we do need a new orbital station around Kerbin, and now this has some very heavy requirements. So that would be a good idea to send out the Valentina Kerbin one and then make a new one to fill out these requirements. More temperatures, more satellites, temperature surveys. Then we've got landing gear on suborbital trajectory, MUN, and the stack separator suborbital trajectory, MUN, specific altitude. So we can send an impactor to do that. That's no problem. Perhaps I can include that as part of the station go. So yeah, this seems like more and more we can just combine a bunch of things into a station mission. Now I've got 634 science to spend, so I got a lot of science to spend. So we can start looking through a couple other things. The Cheetah is kind of pointless. We've got the AJ-10, which we can cut down to the same diameter. It's got a higher engine ISP and vacuum. The benefit of the Cheetah would be that it's slightly better at sea level. Double, actually, at sea level. So it's a little less crap at low orbit. Now I wonder if I take it bare, if I would be able to put this on a smaller radius. Now it does also have the twin bore, which has a lot of thrust. It has very high thrust. It's a good thing. The mainsail, which is again very high thrust. Does have the Kodiak, which is kind of pointless. It's like a crappier version of the Reliant. I'm not sure why they made this such crap. I'm actually kind of upset about that. I was hoping this was going to be a really sweet engine when they added this. But, nope. Nope, it's crap. The only nice thing about it is that it has a shroud that goes all the way to the bottom in case you want verniers like these. Or, yeah. These aren't even that great either. Bobcat, it's reasonable. And the skiff. So the Bobcat would be a good substitution on our basic launcher. If we wanted a little more carrying capacity, this might be a good thing to get. And the skiff. I don't get the point of the skiff. High vacuum efficiency, but it's not as efficient as the AJ10. Yeah, really, we're way better off with the AJ10 compared to most engines, apparently, in vacuum. I think that might be the best vacuum engine. 412 engine ISP. At least as far as traditional liquid fuel goes. Well, let's see what else we got. We got some smaller engines. Ooh, these are some nice things. Okay, so we got some small fuel tanks. The Separatrons, which is totally what I want. Monoprop engines, spider engines, twitch engines. Twitch engines aren't that good. They're good if you just want to throw something on. Spider engines are basically just radial versions of the Ant. We've got the Puff. I do really like the Sepratron. This might be a thing. Larger fuel tanks. Those are good and all. RCS fuel tanks that are in line. That's a plus. Some adapters. Larger fairings. This is probably going to be a good idea. Plus, it has larger docking ports. I think this is an automatic. I am gonna, I think, do this one. Grabbing unit. It's good for deorbiting. I don't think that's going to be the technique I use for deorbiting. While I'm doing this, I'm just going to pull up the stream, make sure it actually does broadcast, unlike our other night. I'm now quite paranoid, actually, about that. Okay, it does say I am live. That's good enough for me. Let's see. We never did get this level of aerodynamics. I'm not terribly concerned, because our jets suck. We do have the option to get this larger hitchhiker storage container for pretty cheap in terms of science here, compared to everything else. So I kind of like that. I got a rover, ladder, basic ladder. This is going to be important to build our Kerbin space station. So I think that new solar panels, I think I really am going to want. A larger relay antenna and Communitron are also a good idea. A new hex probe core. See, the hex core capabilities go far beyond its sleek, six-sided, futuristic casing. The probe provides advanced guidance assistance technology considered with internal reaction wheels, decently sized batteries, despite concerns that one day autonomous craft will set himself will return to the carriers. Okay, yeah, that's it's good. We've already got a decent probe core. I'm not terribly worried about that. This one might take a backseat, even though it does have the better antennas. I think I'd be better served upgrading the ground station first. Larger service bays and capsules will get unlocked if I do that, or it already is an option. So I do that. Larger monopropellant tank, burner engines, upgraded the heat shields, landing struts. I don't think I need heat shields that big at the moment, or anytime in the near future. So let's see. Let's see here. We need this. We need the hitchhiker storage container to do the space station in orbit. There is a mobile processing lab. And better ladders as well. Might come back to that one. That would be good for the space station. Let's see, what else did we say was gonna be good? Separatrons. Let's throw that on. Pick 2 more. Docking ports and fairings, I think. You get 1 more. I think it's gonna have to be these better solar panels. This is a tough call now. Science lab. Or better electrics. Still leaving out these engines. I am pretty happy with our launch capability at the moment. More worried about the craft themselves. So, better solar panels. Yeah. Yep, solar panels it is. Hopefully we don't regret that one. Now, let's see, what can we do? We might upgrade the tracking station. That is 500,000 credits. I might wait. I think we're okay for the moment. Admin building's still level 1. I'm not too worried about that. No new contracts here. Alright, so I'm going to do one little bit of distraction. I've been saying for quite a while, and teasing everyone, that I had a good idea on how to deal with all the space debris we had going on. And I certainly do. It was not just a load of crap. What I'm going to do, I'm going to use there we go, satellite bus D as a base for our craft here. Take off the relay antennas, take off the science. Don't need any of that. Not for the mission we're about to do. Alright. Actually, these solar panels might be the correct choice, actually. I think I got a little hasty there. Even though I do have new solar panels unlocked, unless they're significantly cheaper to deploy as many as I want to deploy, which they're not, then I'm going to stick with these. Perfect. Okay. So I'm going to stick with those. However, gonna suffice. Put more on our prop tanks. This one could get tricky. I think that's gonna be where the center mass will eventually be. We'll check that in a minute. Now, the fun bit. I need thermal protection. Bear with me, guys. There's logic here. I swear there's logic. Now, I don't have a T6. Can I crank the ejection force on this? Whoa. I want to do that. Alright, let's try that again. Thermal. Good. Thermal protection. See, this is a little holdup because I didn't realize I didn't have stack separators that I wanted. Let's do this. Now I'm like rushing to think. And that's always dangerous when I try to think quickly. Let's put a fuel tank. Extra fuel tank. Yes, yes, now I got an idea. Okay. Stack separator. Bear with me here, guys. Structure. Do I have anything nice and thin? No, not really. Oh, that's a big structural fuselage. No thanks. Alright, we'll stick with that for the moment. And we're gonna put some Separatrons. Just like kinking them. Boom. Okay, so those are attached there. As silly as that looks, it might look cooler in just a second. Twist to spin stabilize. Okay. Making progress. be out of the way and gone by the time that one fires. Then this one will be out of the way. Okay. We're gonna totally pad test this, I think. That should do nicely. Now, center of mass. I was close. A little further down. Or I could just balance it out like this. Just put 4 like that. Cool. Should look pretty good. We need braking thrusters down the center. And some forward thrusters. Be a very monoprop happy launcher here. So now, to make sense of all this, this is going to obviously stage first is going to be the engine, which is going to be after the payload itself jettisons. So boom, boom. Then we have the top rockets with the top ring. Then we have the next rockets down with the next ring down. So those two right there. Then these rockets right up with the third ring. Good. Then these rockets with the fourth ring. Bingo. And we get one very expensive missile launcher, basically. What I'm going to do, I'm going to pad test it. Just to make sure it does what I expect it to do. These stages way up to the top so I don't accidentally activate them. And pad test. And if this works, we'll launch it. And we'll start taking out we'll start taking out the old pods in the orbit there. Nope, didn't work. Does not work as intended. So I might go back to my original idea and wait for those extra separators. So without those connecting to those rings, then there's really no point yet. I'm just going to create more debris in the process. Okay, let's work on something else. Scratch this. That's junk. Now, what I need to do is upgrade the Valentina Kerman Memorial Space Station. So I'm going to set out to do a 15-ton upgrade kit that we can launch from our K-15 rocket. So I am going to want a main engine package. Again, another AJ-10. Because we're going to be moving this all the way to the moon, so that will probably be necessary. Oh, that's a big adapter. Don't want that guy. Do want that guy. So we'll have a step down here. That looks good. Will want some kind of control here. So we'll put a control on this. We're going to want some monoprop tanks. Well, those are big. Not a fan of those. Let's just put some batteries on them. Or, yes, there's an idea. Put a ring battery there. Up a little bit so they got some clearance. We'll put some solar panels on. Cool. All right. Okay. So this will be our automated tug. So this will probably get junked. This will probably, once we get this thing to the moon, we're just gonna trash it. Just the reality of the situation. However, ooh, I don't like that at all. I need to space that out. So a donut tank, maybe? Yes, there we go. There we are. Now we need the center of mass. The easy RCS on there. Cool. So this is already looking good. We're already almost at 10 tons. So we can only really put 5 more tons on this thing and still get it into orbit with the K-15. Now, the Valentina Kerman space station does not have such a large docking port, so I am going to need at least a docking port adapter. And I think I want to make a power upgrade to the station while I'm at it. So what I'll do, what I shall do, is throw a small tank on. Let's go with this guy right here. There we are. We'll put a... Oop, that's the wrong size. Structural, there we go. FLA adapter. Yeah, let's do that just so it looks right. And we'll do to the small port adapter, since this is what's on the station now. So this will be docking adapter 1. We're gonna need some antennas on this, aren't we? That's something I forgot. Let's do like a even in moon orbit, we've got a pretty good relay system going on. Very good relay system, actually, especially in moon orbit. Go. Perfect. Alright, so we'll have a single relay antenna on there. That should do just fine. And actually, because we're going to be mating with this adapter, I'm probably going to go ahead and add those there. This is going to be a single use. And that way we'll leave this mating adapter on the station. And this one will, as I said, have a power upgrade. Do want to have a power upgrade for this. So I'm going to just lock up like that. That looks very good. And we'll do some repackable solar panels. Just like that. Splendid. That way if we're moving it around and need to retract certain solar panels, we can do it. And that'll be our extender. That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good for a power upgrade. I like that a lot. This one, it doesn't make sense to do the repackable because we're just going to be trashing this crap when we're done. But that's okay. Move those out of the way so that they don't break the solar panels when they deploy. Alright. We're getting there. Getting there already. So, 10.5 tons. Now, I do need more docking adapters. However, I also... I just remembered something. We've got some parts to test. TD25 stack separator. Oh, that's a big one. That's fine. Looks kind of goofy. But, you know, whatever. At least it doesn't look that goofy. So we'll test that out in, when we go to decay this thing. Should be pretty cool. And we need to test one of these. while on suborbit. See, this like hardly adjusts the center of mass. I'm just gonna put it opposite the antenna. Okay. Just some goofy add-ons there. Test LY10. Is that the LY10? Yes. Test LY10. Landing gear on suborbital trajectory over the Mun. There is no note of altitude. We then have to check this guy at a certain altitude. Which that actually might be hard, because I don't want to have a station that far up in orbit, I don't think. But, cross that bridge when I come to it, I guess. Let's see, what are we building and where are we sending it? Well, I'm building an upgrade kit for our space station currently in Kerbin orbit, and I am going to be sending it off to Mun, or the Moon, however you choose to pronounce that oddity. Yep, ticking off a whole bunch of contracts there. It's going to be landing gear, stack separator, test on some suborbital once we're done moving it. It'll get us a Moon satellite checked, Moon rendezvous will be checked. So yeah, a good list of contracts we're going to try and get out of the way. Now, let's see. As far as the rest of the upgrade kit. How goofy can I be? Can I be goofy enough to make this all stack in the same direction? Bet I can. Let's see. How does it look with those? Oh, that looks fine. A couple more mating adapters just to update the docking ports on the space station, because they all are small ports. I say it both ways depending on the mood. I'm the same. I go back and forth as far as Mun or Moon. I find that inconsistent with just about everybody, so that's, as long as I'm lining up with everyone else, I think I'm a happy man. I'll conform this time. Alright, and this might still be a little light for what I intended to do today. It is. Still by several tons it's light for our K-15 launcher. So I might just extend this. This is going to be a little awkward though. I am going to put some connectors here, some struts on this ugly beast. Just so until we separate the dock, we don't completely wobble all over the place with this. Depending on the mud. I dig it. I do appreciate a good witticism. Now, one more set of struts. Let's go ahead, since I already have to have this ugly separator, let's make use of it. Let's use that to connect to this guy. 1 inches as intended. And we're still a little light. I am tempted, just... This is going to be totally goofy. I have no doubts of that. But, if I can get extra tonnage out of our launcher, I'm going to do it. Not that clever, more of a half-wit. A half-witticism. So I appreciate half-witticisms. There we go. Now, I have a T18 separator, which... let's just get rid of that shroud. It doesn't look clipping with that antenna looking quite so messed up. I never know when Kerbal's gonna decide to make physics count and when that's gonna not. Sometimes it's like, oh yeah, you can do that craziness, and other times it's like, no, I'm gonna explode. Let's see. Now I need a shroud that hopefully doesn't bring this over weight, because then I will have to go back and change something. 4 ejection sides. Not doing anything fancy. I don't need a clamshell deploy. Interstage nodes. I never know what the interstage nodes are. That's cool. Maybe someone can tell me what on earth that actually does. Okay, once we get to that separator, let's get past the separator. Let's narrow it. Just so our center of aerodynamic resistance is not quite so high. Oh, don't be silly. Don't be silly now. There you go. Alright, so ridiculous payload size. However... let me see. Is the black and yellow ball the center of gravity? Yep. Oh, you did see. Yeah, I really don't know what the interstage node does. I will try and find that out next time. Why is this my root part? How did I do that? I don't know why. Sometimes I root part things very strange. I think this should do fine. I think we're not crazy overweight. We are somewhat overweight. Or I'm somewhat overweight, one of those. Let me just... You know what? No. I'm confident. Worst case, we use this to keep going into orbit. We just need our... K-15... G1. I upgraded this a little bit as well. I did. I didn't save my changes, so I will have to just go and mess with this for just a second. Oop, not what I wanted to do. Okay, that part's right. Want to add a few of these. And because I don't have the fancy action groups yet, I'm going to take the brakes, and I'm going to use brakes to toggle engines on these so I can turn them off because they're crazy inefficient in vacuum, although they are very efficient on the ground. They're good takeoff engines. 305. Oh no, I had that the wrong way around. 275 at sea level and 305 in vacuum. What is wrong with me? Oh, my brain wasn't working. Oh well. That's just dandy. I'll leave them on. Actually pretty close to the Reliant. Of course, the swivel's better in vacuum. Let's see. Let's just extend fuel tank a little bit. Since we do have a decent thrust to weight ratio on this. And then we'll recheck my staging. So, launch towers, bingo, Reliance, swivel. All that goes. Then these separate and get ejected. Then we need this stage for the Wolfhound to wrap up our orbit, hopefully. I am going to put the fairing here, so we blow that once we get to space right away. We need to separate our craft, and we've got that deal. And then this sucker will get deployed some point way out there. I wish I could disable this stage and then just still use it later. A couple of disable staging. Does that mean I could then activate the part through staging sequence? So it needs to be staging sequence. That sucks. This could go very bad, I think. 47,500 credits, roughly. Let's just see what happens. I know this launcher's good. I'm just worried about the size of the payload here. Oh yeah, weird pogo. Okay. Alright. No big deal. No big deal. Sure, we're fine. Everything here is fine. Totally okay. This is just about the strangest recovery I've ever managed, I think, if I manage to pull this off. We're out of here. Let's auto strut this. Just for the sake of doing it. Yep, okay. That's right, we got all turned around. Sure. Sure, we're good. Okay. Thankfully our target is in a very high orbit, so we're not really wasting too much energy here. This is bone stock, so I'm surprised. I don't have like any kind of mod for random accidents. I think that just literally sheared off from the oscillations. High up in the atmosphere, I'm not going to worry about that. Let's check that. Go. So it looks like I'm going to be using my Refueler craft. But everything else seems to have gone okay. I think if that wasn't shaking the way it did, I think we would have just been absolutely fine. So once this is far enough ahead of us, just like to aim down a little bit. So we change our radial slightly. Yep, that's good. And a little more, still changing our radial. We're not driving so high in apogee, we're just completing orbit. There we are. that. Send our antenna so we don't fall out of range. Alright. Let's see. Let's see if we can complete orbit. Nice circular orbit. Forget it. Beggars can be choosers. Just very weak reaction wheel, and I refuse to use RCS right at this moment. So just lining that up. So we're going to have the 12-second burn. So I'll wait till 6 seconds away. Really not a bad recovery. Considering the loss of an entire engine and fuel tank. Absolute bare vanilla, it is. The only thing I have is the what do you call it? The Making History expansion. Everything else is absolute stock base game. So, all my delta V equations, everything else, I actually do in a spreadsheet instead of getting Kerbal Engineer like a sane person. I thought things like doing the math would be fun, forcing myself to do stuff like that. Well, we're in orbit. Right now, I'll settle for orbit. That was crazy. And judging by our... Everyone else saw that shaking there? Okay. I like the math, but usually in a hurry. It is fun. But I understand. I do completely. Because, like, today, I probably should have checked more than just reusing a launcher and hoping it worked. Although, frankly, if it hadn't shaken so much, I think that would have been absolutely fine. I mean, we still made orbit. Alright. So we've got our pusher. We've got our upgraded power pack. We've got our docking node adapters for the station, since it doesn't have any nice big adapters. Or docking nodes, I should say. We need to... This would be why I can't find my station, because I haven't enabled it. There we go. Set it as our target. And we're going to start making maneuvers pretty soon. I probably could have timed this much better as well. I don't know what is wrong with me there. Not bothering to check where it was in orbit. However, it's in such a high orbit, I'm not terribly concerned. That was by design. So we want to level this out at our descending node. So at least we're on the same plane. Very good. So that'll be maneuver node number 1. Perigee and apogee are still safe altitudes if we do that. Okay. Alright, I'm happy. I'm happy. Now, how's our Minmus probe doing? Just a quick check here. Should be coming up on its maneuver. Nope. Still 2 days away. Well, there's that. Let's see. Turn on our crazy relay network and hope I can see. Yep, there we are. Okay. Had much better launches. So 11 minutes away. I'm going to get ready for that maneuver. start aiming. Oh, painfully slow rotation. And I know I can use a RCS, but I hate wasting it. And yes, thank you. Network is insane, actually, around Kerbin. I forgot I was around Kerbin there. The Moon network, though, is very nice and organized. I'll show that off in a little bit. Moon orbit is 4 polar satellites, 30-degree inclination off from each other, and 1 equatorial orbit, all at the roughly same altitude. So that one's nice and sane. Okay, a 6-second burn, several minutes away. I'm going to start planning the next maneuver. I could time warp into that in just a little bit. So, perigee. Oh yeah, way off, huh? Not even close. Yeah, I picked a really horrible launch window. So we're going to be basically going around a few orbits. Let's just go ahead and warp to our maneuver. I could actually click the warp to maneuver option, but again, laziness. Oh, man. But I figured this would be a nice, relaxing set of missions compared to last night's stressful moon landing, which went well anyway, but a lot of work involved. Coming up on maneuver. So I'll balance it out. Once we're 3 seconds out, I'll start our burn. Are. A little bit of correction. Tiny bit more correction. Good enough. Yep, 0.0 degrees. So, nice. We're just on the opposite side of Kerbin from our station. It's very handy. So we know Minmus Probe is about 2 days away, so if we get to day 63, I know we'll have to switch over to it. I'm just going to time warp a little bit. Since we are on such a tighter orbit compared to the station, we should catch up relatively quick. So, interstation node, add attachment nodes inside the fairing. Oh, that's interesting. Wonder how I could use that. That actually sounds kind of cool now. So, like I said, staying on a nice low orbit compared to station. Actually, while I'm doing that, let's check out the Moon network, which is much nicer. Look at that. Look at the comparison. Moon, beautiful, beautiful, nice satellite network. And then, Kerbin. Clean, What the heck? Clean. What the heck? Oh. That's really cool. See, I just put my my satellites. Last time I did multiple, I just put them together as a stack. That actually would be much easier if they were all in separate separate pieces of the fairing. Pretty cool. I gotta figure out how to use that. I'll play around with it, I think. So I said if I get to day 63, but it's looking like within just a couple hours we're catching up to the station. I should consider starting to check our nodes. Kursat needs a slight adjustment to its orbit as well as a contract. I probably could switch over to Kursat 2 and do that adjustment there and not waste my time like I'm doing at this exact moment. But that's okay. I don't have to be wildly efficient all the time, right? And we're still quite a ways away with that. So yeah, let's just switch to Kursat. Get Kursat out of the way. Our old, what's this, our Type B bus? Yeah, this is our Type B bus. This is a nice old satellite bus. This thing is approaching where I would consider retiring it. It's got a decent amount of fuel. So the change is on the same inclination, as I can judge by the ascending and descending node glitching out at 0 degrees. One thing we need to do is raise the apogee and perigee, so, well, roger that. So we'll do just a easy Omen transfer. Okay. And then once we get over there, we'll do the maneuver in the opposite direction. Nice, easy contract. So I'll position this into the desired position here. 1 second burn. I'm not going to do that. That's a pain to try and time it to 1 second burn. So I'm going to do a 4 second burn. And we'll warp to that position. So now 2 seconds away, we'll do that. Still some life in this old satellite. Slight correction burn. Not bad. There we go. And we can just pretty much go ahead and warp to the next maneuver. Everything looks pretty dead on. We'll just warp, give us a little more time in front of it so I can reposition this since I didn't do that. Meanwhile, our craft is catching up to the space station, so that's a good sign. Alright, now we got a 3 second burn. So I'm just gonna thrust limit a little bit more. 4 second burn. Easier to time. Find anything that's less than 4 seconds of burn time is hard to be precise about. Okay. Go. Little correction burn. There we go. Contract complete. So Cursat 2 repositioned. We'll give more time for everything to catch up. This thing's been in orbit for 26 days? That's surprising. So let's just check, make sure I didn't miss any contracts while I'm time warping. I always worry about that. So since we just closed out a contract. Let's go ahead and pick this stuff up. Looks like nothing got destroyed by our stray booster, so that's a plus. Haven't had any buildings get destroyed yet, actually. No, I just jinxed it. Yeah, nothing new there. That's right, our unnamed craft is somewhere on this list. There we go. Back to that. So let's see. Still quite a difference here on the intersect. A couple orbits. Cut that distance in half. Let's try that. It's official, I like interstage nodes. Just playing around with them. I think I'm going to end up loving them. I definitely appreciate the research, that's for sure. That's what I get for not playing around with something. When I see that there's a new thing in Kerbal and I just don't bother to mess with it. It's my own fault. Okay, so we got just a little bit of a timing thing going on here. Hope not another orbit. Okay, yeah, timing. Timing is all there is to it. Just changing our radial so we can time this just a little better. Okay. Oh, see, I'm moving it away. So we need to... There we go. More this way. Point 4. I like point 4. Still a quick burn too. That's nice. Alright. Make this maybe like a 2-second burn. Be a little more aggressive with this one. And I've got 1 minute and 40 seconds to ever so slowly adjust. Even though I could, again, use RCS. And I'm just too stubborn. Actually, while I'm doing this, I'm going to also check, make sure I don't deorbit us as part of the maneuver. Okay, yeah, we're fine. We're just fine. We're doing enough prograde. We are totally fine with that. I don't know if it's my internet or your stream, but the stream is getting a bit choppy now and then. I think it might actually be my stream, to be honest. I've noticed on my recordings it gets like a weird pixelation every now and again. Let's see. For some reason, the most expensive internet option I could possibly find is not sufficient. Let's see. Okay. So at 1 second away, we'll do our burn. Now, to do a quick adjustment, I will use the RCS. Because we want this to be as accurate as possible. Even though the RCS is actually throwing off the maneuver. That's interesting. It's a little more adjustment. So our actual intersect, 0.8, still pretty close. Still pretty close. I could probably do one correction burn. Right at perigee. Well, that's actually the target perigee, isn't it? Yeah. One slight maneuver change here. 0.1. I'll settle with 0.1. Okay, line us back up. .6% thrust limiter, still a 0-second burn time. 1.5%, there we go. 1%. There we go. 600 total views. I agree, I'm happy about that. I'll take 2 views and be happy. I'm just doing this for fun. But it is nice that somebody's enjoying it. Alright, now. Now that we're in position, we will warp to that maneuver. I'm going to give us just a little bit of space in front of it, just to make sure we don't, like here, we're gliding off of our target. So I can correct that while we wait for the burn. I did go through a lot of the monopropellant here. That was unfortunate. Hopefully the station has monoprop as well. Alright, so waiting until 2 seconds to maneuver. The tiniest little adjustment, literally on a 1% thrust limiter. This should set us up to rendezvous with the station. Perfect. Actually perfect, that was a good burn. Only gave us 0.2 instead of 0.1, but, you know, still good. I think that could literally be the difference of the orientation of the craft at that point. We'll put this up again to full throttle. It's a shame they can't do that in real life, just changing the thrust limiters and all on the fly. You get a lot more done. Okay. So relative speed will be 35.4 meters a second. once we reach that point. So I'm going to let us get a good distance away. And I can start aiming retrograde to target. I will add a maneuver node, just so I know where we're at our closest, which is in 44 seconds. I do not see our target node. Oh, there we are. Retrograde to target. Perfect. Heading right for retrograde to target. Just in time for us to do a maneuver. Dead on target. Fantastic. Okay. Quick burns. Alright. I don't know why our craft shook a little bit when we did that. But there's our station right here. Switch us over to RCS in just a second here. I do get asked a lot whether or not I use docking mode or not. I actually do. I am one of the types that uses docking mode. Real quick. The orientation we want, more or less. Let's aim this a little bit more that way. So I'm going to want to dock this first, one of these side ports for the main docking adapter. I'm going to put the two docking adapters on the port and starboard sides of this, and then the main docking adapter with the power module is going to go here at the aft end. This guy should have its own antenna, does it not? Did I throw the antenna in here, I wonder? Oh, no, here it is, right here. Okay. So I just almost broke the antenna with this thing. Good to know. So I can go ahead and retract this antenna, so we don't smash into it in a minute and forget it's there. Ever play Orbiter? I haven't. I've seen a lot of YouTube videos on it, though. Okay, docking mode. Just gonna go to rotation. Linear again. Activate RCS. And away we go. Let reaction wheels do all the stabilization here. So I'll have to reactivate it again. Now, the station itself does have RCS, so worst case scenario, if I totally blow it, then it can basically dock to this instead of the other way around. If not, I gotta send a refueler up anyway, if I want to get this to the moon, I think. So I might just have to send up a tug. Actually, it's not looking so bad. Before I go too crazy with any adjustments. I'm trying to use as little RCS as possible. So I'm going to get us nice and close so I can really see what's going on. And I will try once more just to reposition both station and this craft for minimum interference from RCS. Cancel our movement that way. Cancel our movement this way. Move it that way. Okay. Not bad. Back into rotational mode. Let's just aim dead at target. Using reaction wheels as much as possible. Trying to maximize our use of reaction wheels. We'll cancel that little bit of velocity in just a moment. It's quite hard to do with these thrusters being a little bit imbalanced. Turn off SAS. That was my problem. Okay. SAS and RCS were not playing nice there for a minute. Now I can use SAS. Yeah, for some reason, I've had a lot of bad luck with RCS lately. I knew for sure these were going to be off the center of mass, because I geared it towards like this part of the craft and not the extra 2 docking adapters, but I didn't think it'd be that far off. That it would be that much of a pain. Okay. Now the craft is right here, so we're just going to turn it. Here, let's see if I can control from here. Cool. And set that as our target. Splendid. So, I don't understand how that works, exactly. It's not really lined up as much as it thinks it is. We're not as lined up on this craft, I guess. Ourselves dead at it. SAS off. SAS on. Roll us into a better orientation. It's easier to see what I'm doing. That was a silly mistake. Okay. Why is this? Oh. I'm being ridiculous. Still in rotation mode. Still in rotation mode, Steve. Doing some craziness, buddy. Okay, that off. That on. There we go. SAS off. Oh, SAS on. Max rotation. No, I should have put a couple extra RCS thrusters just to make this a little easier, but for some reason I doubted myself and didn't do it. Or I was confident in myself and didn't do it. One of those two, however you want to think of it. Okay. Now, back out of rotation mode. Whoop. Doing some silliness today. RCS off. SAS on. Rotation mode on. Now we're heading pretty much dead on target. Now the thing is, this is going to slide over time. People tend to forget in orbital mechanics. Up is never up for very long, and down is never down for very long. Left is never left for very long, and so on and so forth. So what we're going to do, we're just going to line this up a little better. Okay, let me turn that off, back to linear. Hopefully not snap any solar panels or radiator panels. Whoop. Okay, not too bad. Down a little ways. Gliding it in. The rotational correction. Linear again. I think we're way off target. Yep, we are. Brake, please. I am struggling here today, huh? I think I might have to just bite the bullet and waste the extra RCs here. Nope, stop wasting that, please. See, it is giving me a lot of rotation. Oh, some angry bumping. Just work it out. Docking without proper tools is hard to do. It is, indeed. Like it wants to find it there. It's just it's nudging more than it should be. The station. So let's just see. Can I help it out a little bit? Can we rotate into it? Wow, what am I doing? Almost there. There we go. Alright, that was extremely painful. And now we get to do it all over again. Alright, so let's control this. So I know what I'm doing. Roll control. Splendid. This station has much better control. Although I am doing something very wrong here. What am I doing? There we go. Still thinking of it as if I'm looking at it from the port. Okay. Steve, you're looking like a rookie here, buddy. Okay. Now we're just going a little... What am I doing? Come on now. Okay. Better. Better. There we go. Alright, so those are the two hard ones, because those are the ones that throw off the center of gravity. But we now have these nice docking adapters. Make this a little more modern station, which we still have never used. So we'll decouple there. I might just try and do this last docking even from this one still. From the actual station itself. Oh man, it's got like a weird... Keep it more or less lined up. Drift away just a little bit before we start our turn here. Well, let's retract the radiators, since those have no purpose yet anyway. So often in KSP, build a station, never really use it. It's very true. The contracts are telling me, hey, build a station, and I go, but I don't need it. Go to rotation mode. Let's spin ourselves around. Okay, that's actually not so bad in terms of lining up here. Okay. I like. Go back to RCS. Let's go back to linear mode. Thing. Okay. I gotta think of it in reverse. There we go. I'm thinking of it the right way around. Okay. Don't know why I did that. There we go. Docking in reverse. Why not? Okay. So that was only mildly overly difficult. Just need the monies. It's so true. And yet space stations cost so much. But this is obviously very good for missions, or I wouldn't be doing it. So we do have the new rear adapter as well. It now has the extra power module. So this looks pretty good. I think this is pretty much ready to be a very effective lunar station. We'll just have to deactivate these ant engines. We definitely don't need those right now. Got a big old AJ-10 to take care of us. Alright. Fantastic. Now, the other parts of the contract. I just want to check. Because I'm pretty sure we need more fuel on this station for the contract. Day 1, day 61. Okay, we're fine there. Where is it? That's the orbital station around Kerbin. Station around Mun. 2,000 units of fuel is what we need. We've got 864, so we will need significantly more fuel. I'm thinking that might be easier to launch to Mun and then dock. I don't think docking an extra fuel tank in this right now would be that good an idea. So my options are basically these 4 radial mounts, because there is no forward mount on this. And I could see that getting ugly very quickly. This doesn't wobble very much, though, so that's good. Yep, seems to be pretty stable. So yeah, I think this might, if I can get enough fuel here to actually make a transfer. Because I don't have that much space to actually restore fuel, I don't think. I don't even think I have a carrying capacity. Oh, I can just see right here. Yeah, so I only got a carrying capacity of 864 and 618 right now. So one way or the other, I need to launch new tanks. So I think launching 2 tanks to Mun might actually be the better option, or 1 big tank. Yeah, let's check. Let's see if I can do a maneuver here and get us to Mun. We would need a maneuver right about here. So we need 807 delta V on this. Maybe a little less if I can do it smart. How much delta V can I get out of this? I'm just going to do this to check my delta V calculation here without having to do any extra work. Just going to wait till I see that red fuel line running out. There we are. Here's our line where we run out of fuel. And even then it tells you to stage. So I can really get more delta V than that. So I think we'd be fine, actually, to go ahead and gotta run. Have a good night. Alright, have a good night as well. And hope you catch more of our streams. Alright, now set up our moon transfer efficiently as possible. It's not bad. 804 delta V. We should have plenty of delta V to then go ahead and do our deceleration, our final deceleration around Mun. This is all looking pretty good. Keep saying that. I'm just hyping myself a little bit, making myself feel like this actually might be doable. Because I don't trust myself. Imagine that. Alright, now. One of the other things I'm going to do is check where we have fuel and see if I can get it all into this transfer stage. Where do I have fuel on this thing? Okay. There's one place I have fuel. I've got some Oscar B tanks right here as well. Oh, that one's empty. That one's got fuel in it. That one also has fuel in it. This one has fuel in it. This tank has fuel in it. And then we still have a donut tank right here. And then this should still have fuel. It does. Okay. Now, just in case anything horrible happens, I'm actually going to transfer some of this back from this tank into the upper parts of the station. As a reserve fuel. Forgot I threw that separator on for the mission. Alright. Warp to our maneuver. Just a little bit before it, actually. Make sure we don't lose our target. Looks like we're doing pretty good. We're gonna have an 18-second burn, so we're gonna have to wait till 9 seconds before the node. Yeah, I could have warped a lot closer. Let's go back to the contract too. 2,000 units of fuel. Yeah, looks like that's all. Thought it would need like some kind of electric charge minimum. A little bit of time warp in. Again, 9 seconds away is where we want to do our burn. Our only active engine at the moment. Slight correction. Comparatively speaking, anyway. Oh. What am I doing? Easier. Good, we'll have a moon encounter. In 4 hours. Perhaps we'll be in 4 hours, 59 minutes. Nice. So we're on the way to the moon. Now, I will have to launch a large fuel tank out there to complete the mission. Contracts? No new contracts. So let's go back to our 15-ton launcher. We learned a valuable lesson with this guy. Let's go ahead. Let's auto strut those. So they don't fly off next time. And, let me see. Autostrat. Autostrat. Okay. Now we can go and update our sub-assemblies. Good. Okay, now we have that. Let's get rid of this launcher. We're not going to use this again, since it's saving this one. Now, I need a lot of fuel. A lot of fuel. We need a control point. Some bigger reaction wheels this time. Structural adapter here, just so this doesn't look like total crap. And then, oh, it's just there. This guy, and go. Some cheapo batteries. Solar panels. There we go. There are solar panels. We'll put a fairing over that. Nice little fairing at the top. We want to put some RCS tanks in there. Some RCS, some solar panels, a couple of these small ones. Perfect. So that's our maneuvering module at the top. Only weighs a ton, that's not bad. Then, we want our... That's what I want. I want our payload. This guy. It's close to our fuel that we need. One of those on. There we go. Now this is going to have to probably power itself a little bit. Holy crap, that's 28 tons. That is way over what I thought I was going to be looking at. That's 19 tons. This is already too much for our launcher. This might require some thought. Let's see. Let's get rid of that. Let's keep this unit at the top. Let's do one of those guys. Let's start looking at these tanks. Good. units of fuel is this? 405, 198. Yeah, we need definitely more. That doesn't really look like a fuel tank, does it? Let's use this one. Use that one. Alright, this is getting closer to our target here. Our target weight. Little payload shroud. Should do. This one, I could probably use a small docking port, but should I do that? Should I use the small docking port? I feel like I shouldn't. Payload coupling. There we go. It's just a little goofy. I wonder, can I move that up a little bit? There we go. Now that looks so goofy. Just be impossible to rename the darn thing later, so I won't be able to click on the core. But I don't think I need to click on the core at any point. So that'll be our mating adapter. That'll be our docking module. Let me see, what else do we still need? We're gonna use the Wolfhound again, because again it's very vacuum efficient. Nearly at our tonnage. What happens if I throw the separator on? Yeah, we can get just a little more tonnage on here. Bingo. Okay, if we do that, still need our, let's just take that back off again. And let's see, where's our center of mass? This time, do 2 sets around the center of mass. There we go. Okay, this would be maybe a little overweight. Let's get rid of this again. He's back in position. Okay. That's pretty much dead on. That's our 15 tons. Now, how much fuel does it actually get us? That gets us... Wow, not much at all. Like, that's gonna be out of fuel by the time it gets there, huh? Yeah, this might be a problem. Maybe you should have considered that before sending it off, huh? Well, let's give it a shot, at least. Let's see if this works. More auto strutting. Now let's just see how much fuel we can get to Mun in this configuration. tricky thing is it does say it need 2,000 units of fuel, not capacity for 2,000 units of fuel, so I do need to get fully fueled tanks there. Alright. More stable launch this time. See, we'll use that to get into orbit. Good enough. Thinks we don't have enough fuel, but that'll change as soon as we escape the atmosphere. I didn't check staging. This needs to go next. There we go. Oh, I made a big mistake. There's no communitrons on this. I made a big mistake there. That's going to be a big problem. Very quickly. So 58-second burn. Let's just get this in orbit and worry about it afterwards. 29 seconds away is where we'll start our burn. Send a smaller refueler up that actually has a antenna on it. And who knows, maybe that'll help us get a little more fuel actually successfully to Mun as well. A refueler for the refueler. Creative solutions. Wrong button. Slightly larger orbit than I wanted. Well, that's fine. Whatever. Okay. So we still got a little fuel left in that. So I'm going to send up a refueler for the refueler. That's literally what I'm going to do. As embarrassing as that is. As just silly and embarrassing as that is, we're going to have to do it. All right. Let's make a small a small refueler. I didn't mean to keep this part. We'll name this, and we will put an antenna on it for the next time, so we don't get hosed the same way. Six right through the fairing, okay. Six through a monoprop tank. Oh, that's six through. Well, let's just use the cheapo. Cheapo works nicely. So this would be the K15. G1. Refueler. Okay. Now, let's open where's our refueler? Did I not save a refueler? I did. Oh, fuel resupply craft load. K3G1. I'm gonna have to modify this a little bit. For starters, this needs to change. Just silliness that I have to now go through. Okay. Should do fine. Network is pretty good. We're still not quite overweight. off those. Okay. Let's put this one closer to the center of gravity than this one. Alright, now this one we can use a much more vetted launcher. K3G2. Lunar launcher will easily get a 5-ton payload to orbit instead of the 3-ton intended. I will make a change here real quick. Just the aerodynamics now that we've unlocked this cone. Did a little better. Make sure all this checks out. Great. I'll wait for this thing to come around to a decent position. It's just going to be a wait. Four hours though till I need to do my next maneuver. So we're just going to let it do its thing. So once it gets to maybe like right here on this point, I'm gonna go ahead and launch. It's coming right around. Yeah, right about there. We're gonna launch. Go. Slight modification on this one, just so we can leave some kind of communication antenna on that refueler we have in orbit. Let's go off themselves as usual. Wait till 10,000 meters and start our turn. Go, start our turn now. Got those two gimbal engines helping us out. At the bottom here, a Reliant instead of the usual swivel that I like to use. With some wobble. Amount of wobble there, which I attribute to that extra docking node. Yeah, we're coming up to a pretty good rendezvous too. Let's flatten out. Let's plan to get us to orbit. Good enough for the moment. Ditch that. Yeah, we're gonna have to stage. We're not gonna have the fuel according to this, but it's wrong because we haven't got the space yet, and that will affect the timer. Start that right now. charging. I apologize in advance for the very loud engines. Bad idea. I need to pitch up. I'm gonna start losing altitude. It's just very underpowered. Almost there. Still a decent amount of fuel to transfer as well. Now we can start going down the shallower orbit. The shallower target, I should say. Good enough. Safe for orbit. Now what we need to do is catch up to this guy. So we're gonna pass it, actually, coming up soon. So should be our opportunity to, with a very minimal burn, see, with a minimal burn we should be able to handle this. We are at a higher orbit at this point, however, so we really need to do a little bit of a radial shift. Oh no, back the other way. we don't quite have the fuel for this guy, huh? That's fine. Make it work. Coming up on this maneuver fast, though. So I'll probably settle with this 1.5 intersect. Enable this fuel tank. So I have a 56-second burn. So 25, let me see, 28 seconds away is where we'll start. It's almost just leading a target at that point. A little bit overdone. A little overcooked. That's fine. We want another maneuver coming up after this guy. Where are we off most? Oh, actually off most in our descending node, which is coming up. Looks like. Okay, just a little bit of retrograde while we're at it, a little bit of radiant shift. Perfect. 13-second burn. Coming up in 56 seconds. Go flying fuel tank, I believe in you. I agree. I do believe in flying fuel tank. With just the tiniest engines in the world. So 13 seconds from burn is where we're going to go ahead and... Or 13-second burn time we have, so we're going to have to go from 7 seconds to burn. Approaching the target again. Correction burn. We do want to make that so we can get this exact. Okay. So our intersect at 0.4. Much better. Switch over to target. We're going to have to brake very hard once we get close. .67 meters a second of delta V change, which these, I think, these ant engines. I forget what their thrust actually is. Probably when we get right to 1 kilometer, I'll start slowing down. Which is coming up fast, actually. Yeah, we're going very fast. Let's slow down now. Might overshoot a little bit. Not bad. this thing's gigantic reaction wheels to spin us around here and aim at target. Doesn't want to let me set target, so I'll have to do it from here. Alright, let's just aim directly at it. Doesn't seem to be... Oh, there we are. That wasn't making sense there for me for a second. Okay. Go ahead and aim yourself right at target. Losing my mind. Almost there. Whoop, okay. That's the wrong button. All that precision, and then instead of cutting the engines, I go full throttle. Whoops. Okay, we're just gonna go back to RCS here for a second. Docking mode, please. Linear, please. Rotation, please. Back to linear. Oop. Nope. I was reading that retrograde marker like it was a prograde marker. So what I'm trying to do here, if I do this correctly, which I'm not doing correctly. Wow, this is going to be burning all my mono, bro. Okay. Just that. There we go. Anyway, as I was saying, what you want to do is your prograde should be on the opposite side of your target. So you should be able to draw a line from you through your target to your prograde. And I am going way too fast. However, we docked anyway, so whatever. That's what I get. When I don't pay attention, things go well. Alright, now. We still have monoprop on this thing. Not a ton of it. I am going to go ahead and fill up these prop tanks. Okay. So the rest of the monoprop on that thing we'll use to help deorbit. Doesn't actually take a ton of fuel to deorbit this thing we learned last time. Now, let's see. Fuel this sucker. Okay, decent amount of refueling. Just a teeny tiniest amount of fuel left on that. That's not gonna do us any good. How can I balance out some fuel to this thing? Or do I want to just trust it to deorbit with RCS? Still has a decent amount of RCS. Let's just see if I can deorbit it with that. A couple nodes, so now we're leaving behind the connector here with the antenna. So this thing can actually have an antenna, which was the whole point of this refuel launch anyway. Of course, now we don't have an antenna. That was brilliant. There we go. Much better. Now, we're going to aim retrograde. Use the very last of our fuel. The very, very last of our fuel to move away. And then the remainder is going to be RCS. Hopefully that's enough to deorbit us. Turn off RCS. Aim retrograde a little more accurately. Back on. Yep, just enough to deorbit us. Perfect. One more tank puts itself into the fire. We're still close enough that we can target this. All right, so now we have a proper antenna. And we can go ahead and get this pretty much ready for moon transfer. By the time it gets to here. Still have our station on the way to the moon. This could be timed better. Minimum fuel requirements, what we're going for here. Right there. Looks good. And it can be done with our transfer stage. Cool. So that little refueler did pretty good anyway. The refueler. Oh, wait a minute. I put an engine on this? Why did I put an engine on that? Huh. Okay. That's cool. Let's just put some of this fuel up in here. Why did I bother to put 2 engines here? It's a little weird. Put more fuel at the top so I can stage that off as soon as possible. Don't know why I did that. Anyway. Time warp a little bit. Actually, let's just do a time warp like this. And this maneuver might be the end of the stream for tonight. We've got a 16-second burn. So we'll wait till we're 8 seconds away. Odd, it's suddenly telling us we're not going to have enough fuel. Huh. Well, I want that burn to complete. Wow, what is wrong with this node? Alright, well. Stage off. I'm kind of broken with that, isn't it? And hopefully that little thing will deorbit. I don't think it will. Would have been a good case for the Separatrons that I finally unlocked. So, oops to that. We're still a little shy of Lunar Encounter. Just a little bit more prograde. There we go, Lunar Encounter. Check debris. Yeah, that's not going to deorbit. That's just going to hang around. I think. Yeah, it's parachute's 95. That sucks. So, leaving space junk this time. That's unfortunate. Well, we've got a station on the way. To Mun. We've got a fuel tank on the way right behind it. If I leave the transfer stage in there with whatever fuel's left, plus whatever's on the station, plus whatever's on the way in the tank, hopefully that'll be enough. I can send a second fuel tank, but I don't know how much we're gonna end up just doing overkill here. But okay, I think that'll be it for the stream tonight. Not a bunch of stuff we managed to pull off. We did just a little bit. I'll probably check contracts before we go. But we did at least boost the Valentina Kerman Memorial Space Station on its way to the Mun. And we're one step closer to having that contract fulfilled. Just need 2,000 units of fuel, so between that, yeah, nah, not looking great. Not looking great, to be honest. We might need a second fuel tank. Because this is still going to need to slow itself down. So I might need that Midmas probe to unlock us some science so we can get some bigger engines for some bigger fuel tanks here. Because this guy only has, yeah, if this was fully fueled and the station was fully fueled, then we'd hit it. But that's it. So this might just arrive as an empty fuel tank at this point. Oh well. Things happen. I could launch something like this as a pusher stage and then launch a nice 15-ton fuel tank in front of it that's just all fuel tank. Do 2 launches. I could figure something out. I'll figure out something, but we'll complete that mission tomorrow, hopefully. Let's see what we have for new contracts. Nothing new for contracts. Okay. All right. All right. So in that case, I'll do my usual spiel of thank you guys for anyone that did watch tonight, and if you miss any of our streams, check it out at youtube.com/dude I called you bro. It's got some other content in there too if you are crazy enough to actually want to watch it. But with that, that's our stream. So thanks again, guys, and good night.